Hi, grade fives. Welcome to your IXL test lesson today. Don't freak out. Lesson today on time, continuing with some time. Let's go straight into it. We had a good Zoom lesson yesterday where we updated a little bit of our understanding of the adding and subtract. Next time we're going to be doing some word problems with that. So U4, find, start, and end times word problems. Let's look at that. All right, so looking at the question. Lovely. Okay. This is U4. It was 10:40 when Zach began doing laundry. It took him 5 hours and 35 minutes to wash all of the dirty clothes. What time was it when Zach finished doing laundry? That sounds like an awful lot of time of doing laundry. For when I can't do more than 1 hour a day, but then I need to do 1 hour a day to try to get it all done. Okay, so let's add. I hope that while you guys are home that you're helping out a lot with laundry and things like that. Definitely old enough for it. Okay, so let's go. That's a pleasure, parents. It was 10:40 when Zach began doing laundry. So we have got, again, with time, we've got hours and we've got minutes. So we have got 10 and we've got 40. We are now adding because he's spending some time and it took him 5 hours and 35 minutes. All right, so let's have a look at that. We're going to add those together. Remember, keep them in their columns. In fact, having a column down that way is quite helpful too, I think, with understanding. So let's go. 0 plus 5, we've got 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, we can't leave it as 15 hours and 75 minutes. Well, there's no such time as that. So 1 hour we know is 60 minutes. So we're going to subtract on this side, subtract 60, and we're going to give it across to the hours, which means we add 1 hour onto this side, right? So let's go. Let's make another crossbar. Okay. So we're subtracting this side. 5 minus 0 is still 5, and 7 minus 6 is 1. And this side we're adding 15, 16. Okay, so we had some trouble with our 16 or 24 hours, but if you're looking at a clock, it doesn't have 24 hours around, so it goes 12. So we got to get to 16. How do we do that? We're going to start at 12 because that's what the highest number we can go on a clock. So then we're going to go from 12, we're going to count on to 16, and we're going to check with our fingers as to what that transfers us to, okay? So we're starting at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is 4, 15, okay? So let's look. Do we have, let's just write that. That's 4, and our 2 little colons, 15. Okay, so let's look at our times. This clock is showing 4, and remember you count, just a revision of how to tell the time on a clock. You count in 5s, right? So 5, 10, 15. So our minute hand, the long one is the minute hand and the short one is the hour. The long hand needs to be pointing at the 3. So this guy is not it, and this guy is not it. So it's one of these two. If it is 4:15, the hour hand, the short guy, needs to be just past the 4. It's just past 4. So this one, the hour hand is just past the 5. So this is not it. So this is the answer, 4:15, and submit. Awesome. Let's try another one together. Let's clear everything. Maybe you want to take a pause. Try this yourself, come back and see if you're correct. Looking at the question, Karen and Shane went for a bike ride through a park. They started their ride near the pond at 5:25. They rode until they reached the soccer field 1 hour and 20 minutes later. What time was it when Karen and Shane reached the soccer field? So they went for a bike ride through a park. They started, again, hours, minutes. They started at 5:25. So we're at 5:25. They rode until they reached the soccer field, and that was an hour and 20 minutes later. So we're going to add that hour and 20 minutes. Good. And so what time was it? Let's go. Lovely. Okay. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay. Do we need to do anything to our 45? No. Remember, 60 minutes in 1 hour. We're not yet at 60, so we don't need to convert anything with this one. So we have got the time as 6:45. Do we see that as an option there? Yeah, we do. 6:45. Let's go. Okay. And let's try one more together of this one. Diana went camping for a night. She arrived at the campground at 4:55 and left 17 hours and 10 minutes later. What time was it when Diana left the campground? Right, so let's try that one again. You might want to pause, try it yourself. We've got hours, we've got minutes. She arrived at 4:55. So we're starting at 4:55. We are then adding 17 hours. Let's just add that there. 17 hours and 10 minutes later. Okay. It wasn't a very long camp if it's only 17 hours. Anyway, hope she had a good stay while she was there. Okay, let's go. We are adding 5 and 0 is 0. 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. On this side, 7 plus 4. And 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, so it was the time when she left the campground was at 21 hours and 65 minutes. Nope, there's no such thing. We have some converting to do. We know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we're going to subtract 60 from there, and we're going to add it to this side. Okay, so 5 minus 0 is 5. 6 minus 6 is 0. Here we're adding 1 plus 1 is 2. We've got 22 and 5. Let's make it 0, 5. Okay. Is there such a thing as 22? Well, in 24-hour time, yeah, but at the moment, we don't have that as an option. So remember, you count from 12, and it's count on from 12 to 22 and see how many that is. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's 10, 10:05. All right. So that's equal to 10:05. We see that as an option? Yep, we do. 10:05. Wonderful. Okay, let's go on to the next activity. We're looking at U5. Convert between 12 hours and 24. We've kind of been practicing that in this activity anyway, so we'll just continue to work with that. Okay. So this question says, write 10:30 p.m. as a 24-hour time. So this is where PM and AM becomes quite an important part of you being able to read the time. If it's a clock, there's only 12 hours and then it repeats itself. So when you're looking at it, it's important to know whether it's AM or PM. AM is anything in the morning up until lunchtime, noon. And PM is anything past that noon time, right up until midnight. Okay, P for past, that's how you can remember it. A comes first in the alphabet, so A is first. Another way to think about it. Okay, so if you're looking at 10:30 p.m., that's like really at night, people are sleeping. dark outside, right? And now we want that as a 24-hour time. So if you think about first 12 hours being from 0 to 12, and then the second 12 hours, you're adding 12 onto that, okay? So if you think about it, you are always adding 12. So let us take a little bit of a workout session, 10:30. All right, let's just add a little bit there. We are adding 12 hours onto this because it is PM, right? And PM is the second round of 12. PM is the second round of 12. So we're going to add 12 hours on to find out what our 24-hour time is. Okay, so 0 and 0 is 0, 3 and 0 is 3. And you will find when you're converting your 12 to 24, your minutes will never change. Your minutes stay exactly the same every time. It's just your hours that will be adding 12, right? So 0 plus 2 is 2, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so when you're doing a 24-hour time, you don't need AM and PM because you automatically know that the bigger numbers past 12 is going to be your PM times, and your up to 12, your smaller numbers will be AM. And that's how you can switch back to AM and PM. That's how you know. Okay, so let's write that in. So we go 22 colon and 30, and you leave that as that. No PM or AM with 24-hour time. All right, let's try this one. Write 13:45, that's how you say it, 13:45 as a 12-hour time. So you might want to pause. This is the opposite of what we've just done. See if you can figure it out, and let's try it together. I'm going to use a different color just so that you know. I'd like to leave up the previous one so that you can refer to that. The opposite way of doing this now, we're going to be taking 12 away. If it's bigger than 12, you subtract 12. Smaller than 12, you add 12. If you're getting onto the AM to the PM. All right, so we've got 13:45. We're going to subtract 12 hours. Okay, so 5 minus 0 is 5. Remember, your minutes stay the same. 3 minus 2 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is nothing. All right, so this is 1:45. All right, now the question is, for my 12-hour time, I have to add my AM or PM. Okay, so I'm going to write 1:45. How do I know if this is AM or PM? If you look back at the first part, 13:45 is above 12, so it's afternoon. It's in the afternoon, so it's PM. All right, and then you got a capital P dot, capital M, and dot. All right, and that is how you write that. Good. Let's try third one. Write 10:45 AM as a 24-hour time. Now this is super easy. If it is before 12, it stays exactly the same because there is no change that you are needing to make. The only difference is you take away the AM and the PM. If it's already AM, you just take away AM. If it's PM, you subtract your 12 hours and then you take away your PM part. All right, so this is how you directly translate 12:45 AM in a 24-hour time. It's 10:45. Right. I hope that you enjoy having some practice with that, and we will continue tomorrow. Ciao for now.